Please welcome to the stage Reetika Gupta-Chaudhary.
Thank you. Have you ever been at crossroads in your life? What I mean by crossroads is when, in the face of a life situation, you're required to make a decision and you have several choices, but you do not know what's the best decision to make at that time. Would you agree with me that the hardest decisions to make are the ones where you do not know whether to prioritize your needs or the needs of the people that you love? See, as humans, we naturally live our lives wanting connection, belonging, and love from others. We yearn for that safe space, the warmth and acceptance that only love from others seem to promise. And in this process, we find ourselves standing on the crossroads, not knowing whether to follow your dreams or to give them up so you can get a sense of belonging and acceptance. Would you also agree with me that however hard the situation is in life, we always have a choice to make the right decision? As someone rightfully said, the quality of your life depends on the quality of your decisions. My name is Reetika Gupta-Chaudhary. I'm an executive coach and mentor, and I help ambitious women make these tough choices when they are standing at the crossroads of their life. The people I work with usually have all the skill, qualification, and experience that they require for their work, and yet they feel helpless. They feel stuck. As they say, Reetika, I don't know why nothing seemed to work for me. Have you ever felt frustrated because you felt that nothing was going your way? All I tell my clients in the moment is that these decisions will become easier when you're in alignment with yourself and when your need to please yourself outweighs the need to please others. Now, by no means am I saying that you should become selfish and stop thinking about other people. In fact, wanting to spread love and warmth in the world is a very generous thought. And yet you do not need to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Raise your hands if you agree with me. Thank you. I read a book called Self-Love, and in that book, there was a beautiful quote by a psychologist called James Hollis, who said, the best thing you can do for your relationship with others is to render your relationship with yourself more conscious, meaning whereby when you know yourself better, when you understand your needs and your desires a bit better, when you can define your value, your price tag, that is your first step in the right direction. The more clarity you have about these aspects of your life, the more powerful decisions you will be able to take in your life moving forward. Because clarity is equal to power. Write it down. This is really important. Clarity is equal to power. Now you might be thinking, Reetika, how do you know so much about this? As I said earlier, I'm a coach and a mentor. So apart from years of training and personal development that I did that helped me gain this status, I also had 3 very important women in my life who taught me some life lessons. One of them was my mother. Now, my mother was a woman who was born to serve. And as a 7-year-old, I always saw her as a short, chubby, and happy character. She always had a smile on her face, no matter what the situation was. She gave up all her needs, her desires, just so that she can be accepted by the society, by her partner, by her parents, and then by her kids. Looking at her always made me feel, how can someone be so selfless? But you know what? Since I was at the receiving end of all her love and sacrifice, I didn't give much thought. Now, the second woman who really helped me was also married, but she'd always been at the receiving end of the love and she's never practiced giving it back. Maybe you know somebody like that. I definitely know her very well. because you guessed it right. That was me 10 years ago when I got married and I came to London. The whole dynamic of my life was changed. I was supposed to play a role which I'd never played before. And like any other woman, I was not sure what to do. Whether I should do what my mother did, or should I carve my own path? But the need for the love and acceptance from this new family was so immense that I soon got sold to the idea of giving up my needs so that I can be loved and accepted. How many of you have found yourself in this position before? So the next woman who helped me was really vulnerable. As motherhood has forced her to rethink her identity. And on the other hand, she was juggling time between her child and her work. And feeling of guilt clouded her mind as her own mother did not approve of her ambitions. She did not know whether what she was doing was right or wrong. One more time, she was standing at crossroads. And yes, this was me a few years ago when my daughter was born, my lovely daughter Amira. She's 3 years old now, and it only feels like yesterday that she was born. Well, that's a story for another time, but what I'm trying to say right now is that as women, we have to play various roles, whether that's of a mother, sister, daughter, wife, an employee, or a business owner. And in this process, we will find ourselves standing at the crossroads many times, expected to make these tough choices. In my journey, juggling different roles, I made some really tough choices as I realized that loving myself isn't narcissism. Although the world will make me feel like that, I realized that I can love my passion, my dreams, and my family both at the same time. And I do not have to choose one over the other. And the most important thing, I realized that I was carrying my own blocks. And these blocks, which said, Reetika, you're a woman. You need to please everybody but yourself. That love and acceptance from your family is more important than you chasing your dreams. These blocks, negative beliefs or conditioning, however you might like to call them, these stand in the way of your own progress in life. So let me ask you, what blocks have you been carrying with you all these years? Have you ever told yourself that you're not good enough? That somebody else is better than you? And better still, it is not in my destiny to get the success that I want. See, regardless whether you are a mother or not, regardless whether you are married or single, would you agree that it is your own unempowering beliefs that stop you from winning the progress, winning the success that you deserve? So there are 3 ways in which we can leave behind these negative emotions and negative thoughts and make some really constructive choices. In fact, there are 3 main ways in which I empower my clients to make these decisions in their life. One of which I'm going to discuss with you today, and it is self-love. Now, what is self-love? In fact, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word self-love? You might be thinking, Reetika, does that mean that I bury all my relationships and I sit in my room and love myself? Well, whatever you're imagining right now is possible, but that's not what I am saying. All I'm saying is that self-love is the source of all the love and energy that you want to give to the world. And if you do not work on keeping this source alive, by focusing on yourself, on your desires and your passions, soon the feeling of wanting to do things for other people will turn into anger, regret, and expectation. An expectation that other people need to fulfill your dreams and desires, just like you probably have been doing that for them. And trust me, this is a trap. because this emotional dependency on other people will lead to a lot of toxic emotions in your life. And these toxic emotions will stop you from making the right. The challenge here is to understand that the success that we want does not depend on external factors. In fact, it comes to you when you understand that you are the most important person in your life. And yes, you are a social being too. So the choices that you're going to make, the decisions that you're going to take are never going to be simple and straightforward. You need to understand yourself a bit better, have more clarity about who you are. Now, you must be thinking, Reetika, I do not know really what you mean by who you are. Who am I? See, when somebody asks you who you are, your mind automatically resorts to identifying you with what you do. Let me say that again. When somebody asks you who you are, your mind automatically resorts to identifying you with what you do. So you say, I'm a teacher, I'm a psychologist, I'm a scientist, I'm a housewife. Instead, if you can understand yourself by your intentions, that will get you closer to you understanding what your real purpose is, what your real values are. And this is when you will stop comparing yourself to other people, because you will realize that your purpose is unique and the path that you're going to tread on is your own. By the way, have anybody of you compared yourself to other people before? Well, that was a rhetorical question. I'm sure you have. If you ever find yourself standing at crossroads, always remember that you have a choice. Thank you.